So recently I spent a few days around San Francisco and a little bit north of there, just exploring and doing some travel photography. I've spent a lot of time in the last few years focusing on landscapes and documenting places that were a little bit more on the wilderness side of things. But recently I've been wanting to expand my portfolio a little bit to include more work in cities. And San Francisco felt like a really cool place to explore for a few days. So I started the trip in Sausalito, which is just a little bit north of the city of San Francisco, just across the water. And my hotel was in Marin County, so I figured I might find a free place to park there and then take the ferry across. I don't think I actually saved any money by doing that, but it was cool to get to explore a little bit of Sausalito first before getting to the big city. So from Sausalito, I took the passenger ferry across to San Francisco. I always love taking ferries whenever I can when I'm traveling. It's generally a really inexpensive way to get a boat tour of the area. And in this case, we passed the Golden Gate Bridge, which is so photogenic and really iconic. And then we passed by Alcatraz. I really like this shot of Alcatraz framed by the rusty ferry boat. I think it looks pretty cool. So then I got to San Francisco, and from there I didn't really have any plans. I just figured I'd wander around and see what happened to catch my eye. I ended up just doing a lot of walking that day, and basically made my way from the ferry terminal all the way over to the Golden Gate Bridge before taking public transit back and then taking the ferry back to my car. Oh, this place was super cool. I think it's called the Palace of Fine Arts or something like that. And it's just this really cool, massive piece of architecture that I really wasn't expecting to see. And not super familiar with architecture photography, but it was a really fun challenge to try and find a shot with interesting lines and shapes and depth and all of that. I like this one a lot. From there, I made my way quickly over to the Marin Headlands. I knew I wouldn't make it in time for sunset, but made it just in time for kind of the last of Blue Hour. And it's an iconic location, but I really like this shot as well. So the next day I drove north and was headed towards the Point Reyes National Seashore area. On the way, I stopped at a place called the Mirror Beach Overlook, which was really cool. A nice view up and down the coast. Cool little pathway leading out to an overlook as well. So there's an old shipwreck right at the start of the Point Reyes Scenic Drive. A few years ago, it was kind of an icon. If you saw any pictures of Point Reyes on Instagram, you'd probably see this shipwreck. And when I saw it a few years ago, it looked just like I had always seen it. But I guess since 2021, the weather has been a little bit rough and it's kind of collapsed. Probably not really going to be much of an iconic tourist stop anymore. So from there, I drove down to Drake's Beach, but it turns out it was closed. There was a big colony of several dozen elephant seals on the beach, so we weren't allowed to get any closer than this. But it was really cool to see them. There were so many, and a bunch of really, really small baby elephant seals as well, which was really cute. Man, this is such a cool area. It felt somewhat like Scotland or Wales or somewhere in the North Atlantic. And I will definitely be back again soon, but that'll do it for this trip. That'll say thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.